On this one? We're on.
What's up, y'all? It's your gearhead, Mr. Logic, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if this is your first time in, you hit that subscribe button. Let me introduce our beautiful people right now, we got our boy right here.
Yo, it's your boy Sir Daniel finally at the front of the bus. You already know what it is. And
we got our lovely co-host right here, the infamous
Nate.
She's a little barred out. And we have our lovely co-host right here.
It's Tantiastami.
And peep the shirt. Tell us what's going on real quick.
You see the shirt. It stands for TRC, Tax Resolution Center. We fix all your tax debt. We help you to file taxes. We do Wealthy Wednesdays so that you can learn how to start your business, start up the right way, and just learn anything that you might need to help you be financially literate. We're located in Plantation, Florida, and we're one of the best. Come see us.
Okay. And we have on the ones and zeros right now.
It's your boy.
Is the camera on? You gotta turn the camera on. Matter of fact, just stick your head out like a peacock real quick. Show them what's good.
You're not on the main camera.
Yeah, you gotta fix that.
No, put the main camera on.
Come on, dog. There you go. And as you already know, this is one thing for sure, two things for certain, baby. Let's get into it.
I got a question for you, T. Yes. Would your tax professionals be able to professionally help me find out ways to not pay the IRS, to just absolutely hide all of my money from those money swindling sacks of
he means pull a Donald Trump
excrement. What are the
you're not in the tax bracket to do that.
Ooh, she called you broke.
I'm not. Flash a stack.
Not to say it like that, but I'm just being honest.
Do me a favor. Show the people the shirt you're wearing right now, yo. I'm excited about this. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my little brother something real quick.
Mm-hmm. The shirt says, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20."
$20 is.
And guess what?
$20 hair.
Guess what Lewis's shirt says?
Lewis,
go ahead and show the shirt.
Yeah, you gotta stand up and show the shirt, yo. You gotta, yo. I have my other little brother right now.
Sounds gay. I'm in.
You feel me? And the lovely Nate has to also break down
what's on her head.
Good luck reading upside down.
Shut up and eat.
They're booty shorts.
Yes.
Because she likes to get her groceries eating.
Hold on. Are we frozen right now?
Period.
Are we frozen?
Are we frozen right now? It seems like you.
Oh, did you press a button to freeze it? Are we frozen? Because there's no audio or no video.
Yeah, it just shows.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hold on.
Well,
we apologize for the technical difficulties right now. How are we looking on StreamYard?
Yes, I'm wearing shorts on my head because I wanted to feel included.
I'm not sure what's going on.
What is this?
Let's do this.
Oh, wow. I just seen one of our friends was one of the people who got shot with French Montana. I did not know that.
Oh, wow. Oh,
shit. Are they okay?
So I'm going to find out right now.
Did something get knocked out?
Seems like we're having... for us. Give us a second.
Hold on. I think I got it.
Don't go nowhere.
It should be coming in and it's black. Oh man.
Okay. Hold on.
Let me see something.
Let's get some tech support in here and see what's
Alrighty, so for the time being, you guys won't be able to see our beautiful, wonderful faces. You just have to hear our voices. So sorry about that, you guys. Don't know what happened.
We have IT working on it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to get our people in. All right. Yeah. So first thing on the docket for us today. You guys may have been seeing this getting more traction, but apparently more and more people are starting to get strokes from vaccinations.
Yes,
to do with that?
if I may take us into
And
this one.
let me just start with, none of us are medical professionals. We are
Yes.
just doing our research. Well, I haven't done any research. I'm not going
I
to speak
have.
on this topic. It's all going to be Jay and T if she has anything to put into this as well.
So this is not for anti-vaxxers to basically come in and go all crazy on I so told you so. What we're basically pointing is that Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson Johnson actually put out a statement that was basically stating that from their research that they have pulled together, that they're noticing that a lot of people who have taken their vaccine are showing results of inflammations within their arteries, which is leading to cardiac arrest. And that being said is something that they're advising. Now, mind you, again, they're not putting that much information out, but it has been on the news. It has been on my feed. And I want to basically bring it up to get everyone's input on it and what they think is going on. You know, again, we are not doctors. We're not professionals. We're just trying to basically bring clarity and understand.
Bring awareness.
So I'm actually going to let T take this one and basically express herself and what she thinks about the statement that Moderna and Pfizer put out regarding cardiac arrest situation.
Okay, so in my honest opinion, I really think that basically now we've started to see a lot more deaths due to cardiac arrest. We're starting to see a lot more people who are elderly, 65 and older, having a lot of strokes. And they're saying that the rise in this has came from the booster shots, the vaccine shots from COVID-19. So we all know that there was a lot of side effects that people were having when this vaccine originally first came out. I don't know if y'all really remember, but when it originally came out, the nurse on CNN, who was the first one volunteering to take it, actually passed out from it on TV. So it gives the red flags. Again, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, all of them have been putting out statements basically telling anyone who got the vaccine to go and seek a cardiologist because there has been a lot of heart inflammation within those, clients or patients because of them taking it. And like I said, if you really look like now, every time you turn around, someone is dying from cardiac arrest and they have been vaccinated 9 times out of 10. Those people who are recently dying, like Lisa Marie Presley just died of cardiac arrest. What was the guy from NSYNC? Aaron, he died from cardiac arrest. I mean, it's just a lot of people who just dying from cardiac arrest with no previous, suspiciously, that never had any previous heart conditions or any heart, related problems or respiratory problems that are now having these problems. And they're saying that these are coming from the shots or the booster shots.
Yeah.
So, that's just in my honest opinion. I didn't get vaccinated. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I just don't believe in it.
Okay. Like when I think about it, right, and being that medical runs through my family heavy, my sister's a nurse, my mom's a nurse, my stepmom's a doctor, pediatrician, and a lot of friends in the medical field. This is one of the things that we knew we were going to run into because the way the vaccine came out so abruptly and fast. And in my opinion, there wasn't enough time to do real clinical trials. And what I'm noticing is, and it's not all, but I think people have to remember when this virus came out, it not only attacked your respiratory system, it also attacked your neurological system as well.
Yeah.
And even with everything that is coming up to terms now, I don't want to scare anybody or put out any false information. Again, this is just the statements that the manufacturers are putting out.
Exactly.
So clearly there's an issue going on that I think that we honestly need to be aware of and pay attention to it. And it's really unfortunate. So like I saw a statement that Pfizer put out that was talking about They're noticing in males directly that anywhere from the ages of 25 to 36,
Right.
that they're seeing there's a lot of cardiac
Arrest.
issues. Now, what I would tell anybody who's been vaccinated, listen to these companies and go get checked out just to be on the safe side. I want everybody to be safe. Again, this is not to scare or to basically put out any information. What I don't know is what I don't know. I'm only going off from what the companies of these vaccines have put out as a statement. So I think it's something to take aware. And also, you have to remember here in this country, a lot of us already have underlying health issue because of the poor diet we have. This is why it's important to honestly seek out a gym and take care of yourself, not only physically, but also mentally as well.
Health as
and
well.
especially spiritually. So it's just, I found it interesting that this actually came out recently because we've been seeing, especially with celebrity news, and you have to remember there was a lot of athletes who were showing complications after taking this. So it's something that I look at as like, well, damn, we're here now. Now let's try to be collective. Okay. I do apologize for the inconvenience, guys. I do appreciate you guys tuning in, but at the moment, because of the technical difficulties that we're having, we're going to shut down for the time being, and we'll come back up in a few. Just please hold tight, and thank you again for tuning in. We apologize for the inconvenience. See you guys soon. And to redo it.
So much. I'm sorry about that. Okay, guys. We're back on. We're back on, and as we basically again apologize for the inconvenience. You know, again, this just shows you we go live every time. This is one of the issues that we run into. We thank you guys for actually participating and being patient with us. So as we continue this conversation, as we were saying regarding the whole situation that we're seeing forms and reports out about the whole situation going on with people's cardiac, it also goes even crazier because we're seeing it in the workplace, we're seeing it on the athletic field, we're seeing it in the medical field. Also, we're seeing all these new elements. They're talking about carbon monoxide responsible for heart disease, talking about the number one reason for heart disease, which is now being stress if you smoke these vapes. So even though I know I'm contradicting myself. Sir Daniel, what is your thoughts on that, my brother?
Honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on it because I don't really worry myself with that, you know, with vaccines and that kind of stuff. The thing is, and I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist or like a know-it-all or anything like that, but my whole thing with the vaccines when they started was there are people who do need them. You know, those who are what's the word?
High risk.
Yeah, high risk, like whose immune systems are weaker. So there are people who definitely need them. I don't think that everyone needs them, but I also don't think it hurts to get one if you want to. I know there are plenty of people who have lost contact with friends and family because either they didn't want to get the vaccine or they wanted to get the vaccine. And I think that's ridiculous. You know, it is a sensitive topic, and I don't want to put my own foot in my mouth. So I don't really have an opinion on any of this stuff. Now, in regards to, you know, people, this stuff happening to people, it's like, my thing is, I already didn't trust the vaccine, not because like I'm an anti-vaxxer or anything like that. Mainly more so is how quickly it was produced, and you know how quickly it was like pushed out onto the people. You know, the way that I saw it was like they were hoping that it worked based on the research that they had to the prior, you know, like the prior infection, not infection, but the prior things in the family
going on.
Strain, you know.
I do want to put this out again. If you're watching the show, please do not let what we say discourage you from getting the vaccine. If you feel you want to get it for yourself, we also encourage
I'm not
that.
against it. Yeah,
we just ask that you do your research and make sure that it's something that you want to do. Don't let what somebody else or what I say be the reason why you don't or why you do. That's something, this is a big decision that you have to make for yourself. And I want to be as responsible and as thorough with you.
No, but here's the thing. People will say that it's not a big decision. Like, literally, don't think about it. Just get the vaccine, right? People will tell you that. But then you turn on and you say, like, hey, look, what about these people who got the vaccine and now they're fucked up? Like, literally, these people, their lives have been changed forever. Exactly.
Definitely do your research. And I'm going to say
and
that.
Talk to your physician.
I'm not just going to say that with just vaccines. Let's just keep it a whole buck here. Okay. A whole 100% here. Every medicine that comes out, that they put out, if you look and you watch the side effects that go on, the side effects usually sound 100% worse than the actual condition that they're fixing.
Stuffy
exactly.
Nose,
that's why they go through it so fast on the commercial. It's like the fine print.
Yep.
So read the fine print so that you protect yourself, because health is wealth and knowledge is everything.
Yeah. And like, and the thing about the side effects, it's not like it's likely that they'll happen to you. Is that they have to make you aware that this is what could possibly happen, you know, because it's happened when they run the test or whatever.
And you never know what your luck of the draw is going to be. You might be that 9%.
Nate, love, you've been quiet. You want to touch base on this?
She's barred out.
Okay, behind them glasses.
No,
She's feeling herself right now.
I don't feel comfortable talking about this topic just because like we've mentioned before, I am not a medical professional. I don't have any opinions towards it. Honestly, everybody is free to make their own decision about this. You know,
respectful.
And I haven't done that much research, so like, who am I to just reading off of Google and telling you guys when you can just Google it yourself and see like what's going on. But
the information's out there, definitely. So don't let none of us are trained professionals.
Exactly. Don't let us basically persuade you on something. We're only talking about this because
I'm not gonna persuade you, but we're definitely bringing it to your light. I mean, hey, there are side effects out there that you guys need to watch out for, and sometimes they don't tell you the fine print. So do your own research. Read the fine print.
Yeah.
We don't know what your conditions are. We don't know what your underlying conditions are.
Yeah, and if I'm honest, I don't always read the terms and conditions whenever I sign up for a service. So you know, I'm not the guy.
Yeah, I just do it.
Yeah.
And that's when your bill comes high.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
I'm not the guy.
If you guys want to basically look at the reports that we're talking about, you can also go on the manufacturer websites such as Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. If you go to their website, they have an instruction of how to go about it. If you have any questions and concerns, there is a hotline number that you can reach for each independent company that gave out these vaccines, and they could guide you through. Again, we brought it up because we thought it was a critical issue, especially seeing that it's affecting so many loved ones. So again, it wasn't to discourage you. We put our little 2 cents on it. But again, none of us are medical professions. No conspiracy theories here. It's just do your research, do your diligence, and get the information that you need if you're concerned.
Just current.
And so on to a more serious topic. Jennifer Ortega and Billie Eilish oiled up fucking bikinis. Who do you think is winning in a wrestling match?
Who? When did that become a topic? Or you just put that one out there?
They're lying. We were literally talking about it behind. But we were talking about it behind the scenes, bro.
Can I say something about Jennifer Ortega?
She's mid.
Dude, no, she's a baddie.
Mid.
No, you take that back.
She is mid.
You take that back right now.
She's mid.
No, she's not.
She literally is.
No, she's not.
Want to know why?
Hold on, let's get a debate.
Want to know why people are so like over Jennifer Ortega? So I remember she was in that show You, and that's where
Scream.
She was in Scream. Oh, the new Scream. Oh, she's in the Scream series?
Yeah, she was in the new one.
She's also in the new Scream movie that's dropping.
No, hold up. Okay, mind you, Jennifer Ortega has been. First of all, she started off like
as a Disney kid. Mexican that you love her so much?
She's not Mexican.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
What is she?
How sure is she?
She was definitely born here. I think her mom.
What's her ethnicity?
Hold up. Give me 1 second. I'm pretty.
Yeah. The one who defends her.
No, guys, wait. Before Ben finishes his thought, I would just like to say to you, I have heard somewhere that Jenna Ortega's mom, I think she may be Puerto Rican, but I did not want to start off with that fact because I want to fact check myself. I am not one to just throw out my so-called facts, and like I'm not the confident one to say wrong like answers. You know what I mean?
She wants to be CNN.
If I'm gonna yell out something confidently, I know it's right.
Like Bad Bunny.
So,
As I was saying, Jennifer Ortega is mid. She's literally like a 6 or a 7 at best. At best.
Damn.
You're
if anything,
critical.
Or a 5.
Okay, I'm a 5, so I'm average looking. Thank you so much, because most people are average looking, and that's what Jennifer Ortega is. And the reason why people are hyping her up so much is because she was in Wednesday, and she was the dummy mommy girlfriend that was quirky and did her own thing, and people fucking ate that shit up like candy. She's so mid, you have no idea.
Oh, okay. So technically, Jason and I were both right. So
she's Mexican Puerto Rican.
Yeah, she's Mexican Puerto Rican because she was born in California, but her dad's Mexican descent and her mother is of Mexican and Puerto Rican ancestry. Interesting. So she's basically Latina.
Yeah.
What are you chewing? Really?
Oh my God.
What is
The
that?
bullshit that you're spitting out about Jennifer Ortega not being fucking mid.
Right now.
So why do you think she's a baddie?
Why is she a baddie?
Yeah.
Because she's glamorous and she knows how to carry herself. Whatever. That doesn't make someone a baddie.
First of all, I was not gonna mention her beauty, which is obviously one of the reasons why she's a baddie.
So
but her acting as well.
So because someone acts well, that makes them beautiful. That makes them a baddie.
No.
We're talking about looks, not about acting ability.
It's because I cut hair one time that made me a barber.
Yeah.
Those are my reasons. I didn't say they were facts. I said they were my opinions, my reasons. I think she's a baddie.
How does
because
it feel?
She's a good actress, because I think she's beautiful.
How does it feel? Oh, I'm sorry. Finish your thought. I'm sorry. Before I say
my thought's finished.
Oh, well, how does it feel knowing that your opinions are wrong?
Oh, geez.
I don't give a fuck what you think about me, but honestly,
shit.
I don't care.
All right,
I love it.
You think I care what people think about me? I'm wearing shorts on my head.
You think I care what people think about me? I'm fucking
gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
For $20.
Before the video,
$20.
I actually want to put out the video again. Since the video went down, they didn't get to see your shirts. Can you show them again, bro? I'm actually happy I got you guys that shit, bro.
I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Lewis, you know you gotta show yours again. Lewis is gonna show his again. I'm happy. These are my day ones, bro. So you know I had to hit it off with the realness. So if I may explain, yo. Here, man, we got love for each other, man. We like to have fun, yo. Now, Nate, if you might want to show him your shorts that I got you, I think your man's going to enjoy it.
Like, bro, by no means is Jennifer Ortega ugly. She honestly is not.
Can you read it?
But the thing with it's upside down.
But literally, like, she was already in other works, and she's only getting this traction because what's happening now are that these gothy Hello Kitty e-girls are starting to get traction, and that's why guys are eating that shit. That's why guys are eating that shit up. Garbo. It says shut up and eat.
Ian is like, how can I send $20? Boy, you got to hit already, dog.
You can send it to my Cash App at
I don't know Cash App. Ben does it all.
Yeah, Ben does it all. At $, Ben does it all.
So when it comes to Jennifer Ortega, right? I think honestly, realistically speaking, she did a fantastic job on Wednesday.
Honestly,
she played that character very well, and she had her own unique twist to it. And let's give a shout out to Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think I pronounced her name.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job as Morticia. Louis Gussman, which has been
he's the most accurate depiction of fucking Gomez, dude.
Also, this is a dude who's played in so many movies. Let's give him his flowers while he's still with us.
Wednesday was a great show.
But now, with her, when it comes to her beauty, I think what makes her so crazy is she does have that goth side, but she has that serious demeanor look that is sometimes, could come off a little bit exotic. I think honestly she's a baddie. She ain't the most beautiful woman in my opinion, but definitely I think she is gorgeous.
She's mid-skidoo.
Well, you're not beautiful.
Okay. Don't need to be.
I kind of like. I think I'm with Ben on this one. And usually me and Ben don't agree, but hey, we're here today.
Wow.
Me and Nate agree. Me and Nate are.
We are here today. She's not all that.
Again,
she is not.
She's not ugly, but she's not all that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. She's not all that. She is okay.
She's
average. She's average.
I didn't say. I'm not saying she's to die for.
That's why they got her to play Wednesday. Wednesday is like the midweek, mid-hump. What?
Yeah.
She's
Wednesday.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you're right. She's mid. She's mid.
First of all, I would like to
Yes, sir.
I would just like to state that her name is Wednesday because of a nursery rhyme her mother loves.
Do you remember the nursery
wait
rhyme?
a minute.
That was in the show.
Hold on.
That was in the show Wednesday.
Wait. Are you actually talking about like why we're talking about was Jenny Ortega, right? We're just
her
calling
name
her Wednesday
Wednesday
because she played that role.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying that's the only reason that she relate. You're trying to justify why Wednesday is Wednesday in the
like
actual
what her name is
storyline.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about Jenny. Jenny is just a mid. She's a Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
She ain't a hot Friday.
I see Ray coming in.
She's not a freaking
Ray
Friday.
coming in with heat. Ben
She's
is
not
less
a
than
money
mid.
motivated.
Ray's talking that hell, yo.
Ray
like Ben is less than mid.
Ray font, more like Ray fuck you.
I'm just gonna put it out there though. I mean, how accurate can it be for a maid who charges $20?
Huh?
Just saying, I mean, you do charge $20 though.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much.
Because he's not going by looks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
That's
what,
why he
guys?
can tell you what the look
I
looks
do
like.
this for the people. Exactly. I do it for the people. I do it for the people. I do it for the people.
As we got railed by that random topic from Ben, because it seemed like he wanted to get it off.
Yeah,
his chest.
but
Let's
you
get
guys
into
didn't
the next
answer though.
topic.
Billie Eilish or fucking Jennifer Ortega, who's winning oiled up in a fucking wrestling match?
I don't care
We
who's
don't
winning.
know.
I'm going for Jenna Ortega, yo. Jennifer
They're
Ortega.
both mids.
I think she's a lot
They're
better
both
looking than
Jenny
Billie
looks
Eilish.
better than Billy. Billy looks
Billie
manly-ish.
Billie
I'm
looks
sorry.
Why are we talking about looks? They're
But
both
she has
beautiful.
big old flop of
She
top
looks
of
a little
booby woobies.
Who got the biggie ruby?
Fucking Billie Eilish, and it's okay because she's like 20 now, I think.
Okay. I know you're always
She's
satire,
like- you like the
but
top
Ben,
top.
come on.
Oh,
but
you're a Tata man.
No, I'm an ass man. I'm an ass man.
I don't
real?
know,
Yeah, I'm
because
an ass
lately
man.
you've been talking about Tata.
It's
What about
because-
you? What about you, Jason? Are you an ass man or a boob man?
Boobly
I'm an
wooblies.
ass person, man.
Yeah.
To me,
Interesting.
breast is more of an accessory, while ass is mandatory.
Yeah, because like here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Interesting.
You can have
So you want buns, not Similac.
exactly
Got
Isn't that funny
it.
since you
Because
don't
the
need
thing
ass?
because my wife's first off. And oh, this guy.
Hold on.
Because the thing is, it looks better, at least in my opinion, if she has a nice tush and
nice ass.
smaller breasts.
Small
But
boobs.
it looks strange to me with big old breasts and nothing
And a
in the
flat ass.
a flat ass. Like, you know,
The only
Ah.
reason
that's
I
just me.
prefer a woman with a nice keister, honestly, that's my preference. But
That's my preference.
I'll take really. This man.
He said it like an old man. That's my preference.
So I will say this though, realistically speaking, body does matter, but it's not important. Like to me, as you guys know, I'm the old head. I like personality. If you could, vibe with me.
I have a
preference wise,
question. I always been wanting to ask this for guys because y'all always compare. So you know, like, is it because like it's more fun to watch it when you're hitting it from the back than just when someone's sitting there going like this with the tatas?
No.
So when the butt goes, it might have the ripple ocean effect.
Exactly.
The wave,
exactly
the tsunami.
Exactly.
That's not why?
For me, it is. For me.
Oh, for you it is.
It is.
Got it.
Yeah, it is. It is for the clapping and
For the
also
clapper.
for the cuddling.
For the cuddling. Oh, it's a nice place to hide, to park the garage, to park it in the garage.
Park it right in the garage.
Give me
Yes,
some.
exactly. That's what I'm talking. Like, it's just nice.
It's
it's
warm.
Exactly. She curves and you curve and you
It's
just
warm.
go
You
into
got
her,
something
like,
to grip on.
That's for him. Me, I like a woman that's full body, yo. It's just
No, but
I like that
if you have to choose either or is what I'm saying. Because I like a full body as well, but if you have to choose
I'm
either
saying
or.
I choose a woman with a bigger ass and bigger grooves because.
What about you, Nate? I mean, are you going for the girth, the width, the length? What are we going for here?
Oh my God!
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know about you guys, but like, I mean, if you're gonna like lay on someone and they have like a bigger chest, isn't that more comfortable?
Yeah.
She
Like you
wasn't
can
talking.
you mean-
and motorboat.
She wasn't talking about the chest, love.
No, but she's had to choose.
No,
Talking
she
about-
But I
she
asked you, we were choosing. We
Talking
don't.
about girth and
girth
length.
Oh, you like
Yeah.
women, Nate?
No, I'm straight, but if I'm answering, I was asking.
But you gotta answer the questions.
Okay, wait. What was your actual question?
Is what do you go for, Nate? Do you go for girth, width? Well, girth and width is the same.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about guys. Yeah. We're talking about women, so I'm assuming. Women.
No, because I had to come and bring it to us. We're on this side now. We already heard what they want, so now
I'm kind of stupid. You're gonna have to dumb it down for me.
All right.
No, but I know what you mean.
I need a little of both, and I need them to know how to work it.
Yeah, because
like me, I'm a combo girl. I'm not looking for one. I need me a 2-piece always. I never go to KFC, Popeyes, none of that, and ask for no 1 piece of chicken. So I need me a 2-piece, even when it comes to the bedroom.
But if you have to choose one or the other,
one or the other.
If you have to choose one or the other, girth or length.
No,
probably girth, because the girth always feels better.
Okay, wait, hold up.
Oh
I'm gonna be very honest.
The little short.
I don't know about all women.
Can get to it.
I don't know about all women, but I don't know why men think it's like the best when you're hitting our cervix.
No,
like,
it's not.
Wow, oh my God, that means my dick is big.
Right.
And it's like, first of all, you're bruising my organ.
Uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, we don't like that.
I prefer like a little bit of both.
Hey,
Thank you. You a combo girl, right?
I'm gonna say me personally, I haven't had much complaint when they can feel it in their stomach. That's all I'm saying.
No, because there's the perfect amount.
I'll just play a bit
of pressure.
Hey man.
Like there's like that. There's balance. Everything in this world is gonna be
balance. Yeah. It just sounds like you're trying to go for the most PC answer. You want the best of both worlds.
No,
I mean,
we are women.
I guess what you're saying, because I have had from past experience that women don't like the fact when
it's really big, and it's really long, or when it curves this extra odd way.
So I have honestly learned this. So like when it comes, and I had women tell me this, like,
oh God,
you gotta be gentle. Like and I hate to be
jumping off the dresser.
I'm not Jamaican. Haitians do it different. Okay. We throw rocks as we go. No, I'm talking shit. So, like, and I don't know if my fellow viewers here, for the men in this watching the show right now, if you ever been in the situation where you're laying down with your chick, and I don't know about you, but I hate this is when they put their foot up against your chest and they're pushing you back because you're going into
too deep.
Like when I was younger, I thought that's what you're supposed to do. It does hurt them.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
So you got to switch it up. That's why it's important to do different positions and be more sensual than forcive. You get what I'm saying? So women love to be aroused. They love to be catered to. And sometimes the best way to do that,
and our pom-poms are sensitive too.
Very.
Pom is sensitive. So I just got a heads up that the audio was fucked. And so I just fixed it. Sorry about that, you guys. If we do have anything like that in the future, please let us know.
Please.
Yes, we're apologizing. We've been having a lot of technical difficulty. But I get what you guys are saying. But here's the thing, like, as men, it's very different for us because our love language is touch and sex versus your love language is different compared to us.
Ours is too.
I just don't.
Yeah, but I just
more just more intimacy.
I just think, or at least
I feel like,
in my experience, I think women are more likely to verbalize, their infatuation with their partner more so than men.
I disagree.
I just say more likely.
More likely. Okay, I can see that because at least from my experience, and I don't want to go into detail and talk about my personal life. It's just something that I have come across.
It's okay. It's a safe space. You could tell us.
So, okay. Damn. All right.
It's a safe space.
She wants the tea.
We want the tea. I'm Tea-ostomy.
Okay.
I am Tea-ostomy. Spill the tea.
It's like, yo, when you laying down with a chick, it's like you really got to be gentle. You just can't go in there. That could turn them off. Hard body. They don't like that.
You gotta.
Some women
it just depends. Because if y'all playing cops and robbers, and you be get down, lay it down. Bust it open. You be like, oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Oh my God. Yes.
Witnessing right
Woo. Okay. I surrender. It depends. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's the queen of foreplay.
No, it depends. Like,
trust.
But if it's
Freeze.
if it's
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
If it's
spread your legs.
I was not prepared about that. I was
Put it up
not.
right now.
Hold on.
Legs up.
Put it up.
Legs up. Let it in.
Not that one, the other one.
But
You see how I say women are worse than us? You think
Okay,
we're bad?
wait. Be honest, because I feel like some women, when they're actually looking at their man's penis, it's like cool.
What?
Right?
I admire mine.
You admire. You're like,
do.
wow.
What I like
that's
to do-
cool.
I do.
what I like to do.
I
no,
admire it. I've been telling him it's cute. It's so
Fellas,
cute.
fellas.
Look at
Bro,
it.
I know Jason would fucking
The
hate it. He
perfect
doesn't like the word
circumference.
cute, so I can
For-
only imagine.
For your ladies, fellas, or like whoever chick that you're messing with, they'll always get a kick out of this. Yeah, all guys know how to pump their dicks. You know, like when they're chubbed up, how to like tense the muscle to make it move up and
Oh
down.
yeah, when that thing
women love
jump like that
yeah,
and make
women
it
love that.
dance.
Women love it.
Yes.
I'm not saying
It's
they,
pretty
I'm
entertaining,
not saying they
not gonna
find
lie.
it sexy. They
What?
find it entertaining.
It's
It's really
very
funny to them.
entertaining.
Yeah, because like, bro, you can just put your hands up like that. And it's like,
Yes,
wah, wah.
wah, wah,
Just
wah.
jumping.
Make it dance to the beat. Yes.
Make it dance. No,
And it
really.
looks even
Yeah.
cuter when you get out the shower and you got like the towel wrapped
Yo,
around
yo,
you.
yo,
Make it
yo,
pop.
yo,
Yeah.
that's even-
Yo,
Yo, Ian's like, let me be the cop.
oh,
Yo,
fuck.
listen.
Oh.
My thing is, like, yo, I think,
See?
what about for you? Since
What?
we're on the topic, right?
Yeah.
Let's be 100. My shit is,
Okay.
I love foreplay, though.
Yes.
I love foreplay. Like, I love getting,
So
shorty
it-
into the mood.
It depends because
getting-
like
Because you got, it's like a pregame. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? You just can't go in. You
Mhm.
gotta get it soaking.
No, because-
dog. Like, you
because
gotta,
it- my kind of foreplay is like like touching and kissing and like
Fortnite.
rubbing stuff like that. Fortnite, haha, it's funny. Fortnite.
Call of Duty.
There you go. That's my
kill
foreplay.
streak, kill streak, kill streak, kill streak.
But honestly, my thing is with my partner is I like to argue.
You know what?
Interesting.
Sometimes that
Like to
actually
argue,
works.
like-
It makes it really steamy.
like being
yeah, you remember what you
standoffish. Yeah, exactly.
said?
It's like
Remember
it's
what
like
you said?
'cause,
Like,
like,
oh my
'cause
god.
it could be something innocuous, right? It
Yo,
could be like
is it a full moon outside, yo? Like,
Oh my
what the?
it could be so like just like say something. She's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm just like, fuck you said to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck you
I
said
see
to
what
me.
you mean.
That's
Bitch.
payback,
She's
right?
Just like
That'd
Say
be the
bitch
best
one more
sex
time.
sometimes. Makeup sex
Bitch.
is like one of the best sex. That's hands
That's
down.
dangerous. That's how babies
How?
happen. That's really how babies happen, yo. Cause yo, it's one thing to be upset, but yo, when you grab her by the neck and you
Don't
tell
be
her, arch
silly,
her
wrap
back
your
and
willy.
you just,
yeah, exactly. Nah,
I'm 36.
Or
That ain't happening.
We don't do
That's
take
that
the
out here.
pill, whatever.
yeah, we don't do that here. Practice your pull out, folks. Start making pizzas.
No,
Oh,
guys.
Oh my
It,
god.
practice safe sex, men and women,
Yes.
and if you're not, then just be fully aware of the consequences.
Yeah, you make your bed, you better lay in it.
Okay, so as I was saying, you can say practice safe sex all you want, but we're adults, all right? Let's be honest.
Right.
My thing is, if you're gonna lay down with somebody, know who you're
Okay,
laying down
yeah,
with.
exactly. One
Yeah.
night stands, you practice safe sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if that's your chick, that's your nigga,
Oh, yeah.
fuck him. Fuck the shit out
Out
of
the
him.
window.
Yeah, fuck the shit out of him.
Oh
And
my
learn how to
God.
make
I
pizza.
still don't know how we got here.
Learn how to pull out because Jenna Ortega and Billie Eilish, big,
Bro,
just
my
oiled up.
God.
oiled up in a fucking-
Forget him. Just let's move on.
Bro,
to
I
the
remember
topic.
seeing that. I remember for the
Next
first
topic.
I'm
time
tired of you
seeing
saying
that video of Billie Eilish just fucking going, I like your cut, G. Doosh. Where I was like, hey, yo, I think I like her music. I'm kidding. I don't like her music.
Okay, next topic
like
because
you.
this got wild.
All right, so fellas, for the ladies,
Yes.
is it a red flag if he's in his 30s and he don't got no kids?
Now, if I may take this, right? I'm 36.
Loser.
I got a job.
Loser.
And
We're just
I'm only
kidding. We're just
speaking
kidding.
because I want to get your feedback, right?
Yeah.
On why you feel women would say this. 36, got a full-time job, got 401k, got a strong stock portfolio, got investments. Why are modern women saying I'm a red flag? Because that's not just one. That seems to be an entire generation of modern women saying now, if I'm in my 30s and I don't have kids, I'm a red flag. I want to understand that. Because I know you guys are not full modern women, but can you help as women being women yourselves? Help us understand why is that being even said? What would provoke a woman to say a man of my status would be a red flag?
Maybe because they feel like you guys are like already kind of like set in your ways. Like I had a topic kind of sort of like this, like at our tax office the other day, we was talking about it.
Rub said nice pod.
And
Thank
we
you.
were actually talking about it because we were saying like how we were speaking before about being mentally unconditionally, mentally, whatever, how we said it. But like where like, like condition, your mind has mentally conditioned. That's what we were saying. Like your mind has been mentally conditioned to like see this certain way. So now if you look like Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, all these people is putting into the modern generation, like, like even with women who have kids, like that's bad. Don't be a stepdad to these kids.
Mind you, I'm against that.
Somebody else already nutted in this lady, gave kids. Now this is somebody else's problem that you're picking up, right? So I feel like for younger modern women, they're starting to feel like, okay, well, he's probably already set in his ways. So if he come in, he's going to be expecting me to have this certain standard, or expecting me to move like this, or expecting me to maintain what he's already used to. And I might not be able to bring that to the table. So that's a red flag. Like you might not even be trying to have kids. You 36, you already got your family, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your future, your career.
You're set in your ways.
Like you're set in your ways. You probably not even trying to have a family, and I have to do so much to like equal up to you.
Now, when you say that you have to do so much, you mean do you think that's coming from women within my age bracket or younger women thinking like that? Because I think it's
younger, because older generations, like in my age bracket and your age bracket, I wouldn't consider that a red flag.
Yeah, but you're traditional. I'm talking about like modern women.
I mean,
right.
I'm not gonna lie.
But you just asked me. You said, do I think that that's older women or younger women, right? And I said, I feel like that's younger.
But modern young women and modern older women, not traditional older women. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not even gonna say that for modern older women, because modern women is kind of like modern older women now is kind of like looking for that guy too that don't got the kids and stuff, so that they could go on trips and travel. It ain't no baggage. I ain't got nothing with him. Like, so they're kind of like more looking for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Besides the guy who has got the baby mamas, got the wife, I got to deal with all this extra drama, extra stress. He's going to spend time over here, not over here. You know what I mean? So I think for me, it wouldn't be a red flag, because I would see the value in it. Like, okay, he took time. He's more stable. He has himself together a little more. Like he actually took time to focus on himself, get himself right. He could provide, and we could have a stable home. It's something to build. Like it's actual potential bones there. You get it? But for modern women, they probably don't see it like that.
Nate, what do you think?
I'm not gonna lie. As like a modern young woman, growing up, we kind of have this like not instilled in us, but there's like this stereotype where, okay, you're out of high school and then you graduate college and you're supposed to get a job and then you get married and have kids, and it's kind of like in this order. And then by the time you're like in your late 20s, early 30s, like you have a family. So it's kind of like this process we're supposed to go through adulthood. And as you get older, as you over 18, you're in a young adult, you start realizing, life is not in order at all. Like this is not how it's supposed to be. So I can see why a lot of younger modern women think they see a man who's above the age of 35, who has no kids and no family, but does have a stable job. They might think, okay, he's probably living the bachelor life. He probably doesn't want wife and kids. Like that is a red flag. No. But honestly, it really just depends on the guy. Just get to know the guy, like to see why he decided to wait, or like what had happened. You want to make sure that he is emotionally available and wants the same things that you want.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What about you, Ben? What do you think about that situation of modern women saying that a man of a certain age who doesn't have kids is a red flag?
I guess in their eyes that makes them a looser, because like you couldn't. What's wrong with you that you couldn't, bag a chick and convince someone to have your babies? And
yeah, there's always that thought.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that, because it goes both ways. I think for both genders.
Okay.
Like when a woman gets to a certain age, like whether or not she has a man or not, it's like, like you're like 30, 35 or whatever, and you're single. Is like, okay,
without kids.
Yeah, without kids. Like, okay, what's wrong with you?
I mean,
right?
For women, I feel like it's different because we have either the two
there's the main assumption of, oh, she probably doesn't want kids. Like if she's over the age of like 32, 33, let's say 35 or 36, she doesn't have kids. And let's see, at the moment she doesn't have a relationship. A lot of the big assumption is, oh, she probably doesn't want kids.
No, or she might be career driven.
No, that's like the stereotype. That may not always be the case.
Like, no, I mean, for that may be the case for you. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But me personally, you know, a woman over like 35 with no kids, that tells me that she's like, she's incompatible with most people, or like she's so set in her ways that, like, the way that I see it, and I think I've said this already, is that when women get older, until reality hits them in a way that they can't ignore,
hitting the wall,
their list just gets more and more. They start adding more things to the list because they're less willing to deal with the bullshit of dating, right? Because they see all the different ways that men move and that they don't like. So they get into a situation that where as soon as they see something that they don't like, they're like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm not going to deal with that because I've dealt with this in the past, and that tells me that it's going to be a whole lot of bullshit, right? So their list just gets, they start adding more things to their list, and that narrows the dating pool for them. You know, and so, like, again, and because it narrows it for them, then they're unable to find the partner because there are all these requirements that need to be met versus, oh, it would be great if they met these instead, right?
This is one of many reasons, and it's okay to have standards. This is just a case by case, guys.
You should have standards, all right? Let me say, you should have standards, but here's the thing: if you create a list of standards that unless all of them are met, it's a deal breaker, you'll only be hurting yourself. You have to be willing to set a smaller list of, like,
not a smaller list, but more open to get to know the person.
I just think the most important thing for finding a partner is someone that shares your values, someone that is willing to listen, and someone that's a good communicator, right? And then everything else can just fall under that. But if they share your values, then that means both of your heads are already in the right place. And you know, if you were to say something, your partner they are not already be on board with you, but they'd be more willing to hop on board with you if they ask for elaboration, right?
I get you.
Versus, the alternative.
I'll be honest with you. So when I hear, you say, and I get it, because I have a lot of partners out there. They'll meet a chick who's in my age group, no kids, hasn't been married. And yes, unfortunately, the reality is okay, what's wrong with you? Because the way the society tells you, okay, at this time you should have this acquired, you should have that. I think the same thing follows with men, where you get to a point where you go against the grain. You got to honestly, set your own pace. You can't compete with the world. It's not meant to that. You're meant to compete with yourself. Another thing is, speaking for myself and along with other people that I've talked to, a lot of times, I said it 1,000 times before, women have a biological clock, right? But us men have a financial clock. And a lot of times we don't really start reaching the pinnacles and our goals till we're in our mid-30s. And it's hard sacrifice to get there. What I'm trying to understand is, I'm not saying a woman who is in my age group with no kids is not valuable, but also we know that at a certain age comes with experience. You get what I'm saying? And the way that men operate on a scale, we look at women and we're very territorial. So if I see a chick, and I may sound hypocritical saying this, and it's not where I'm trying to come across, but if you're my age and I see that you don't have kids, and I see that, you know what I'm saying, you never been married, I'm going to basically be very cautious. And the reason I'm going to be very cautious, because I start aligning myself with you, where I start, comparing myself to you. Okay, maybe we're both career driven. Maybe we're both building on ourselves. But the ideology of most women is to what? To have a family, to be married, to earn that status. You get what I'm saying? So when I see you don't care about that, one thing that comes to mind, are you going to care about the things that I value? Especially being that you got to this point so far without having the average history that you usually meet. Because let's be honest, when you talk about individuals in my age group, usually if they're not divorced, they have children by then. And again, I do want to say this on the show, and I don't care what anybody says, this is my honest belief. If you see there's a woman and she has children, don't cut her out. You have to understand, it takes a real man to step up and to take on these roles. The best tennis coach never played a game of tennis. some of the best father figures don't have their own kids. And I can speak on my own self. Growing up, it was always my boy's father who tried to take me under their wings. I'm not blood. I'm not even the kid, but they took me under. So what that tells me is there's a lot of good men out there. I think there's a taboo that's set in place where it's like, oh no, avoid these women because it's not worth it. So that's a poor way of thinking. Because when you really break it down, you know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves love, especially kids. It's just unfortunately, especially with the terms and condition of how this country works, it's like basically you're back against the wall because there's truly rarely any benefits. Because if you get in a relationship with a woman with a kid, you fall in love with two, you know, and at any given moment, she could take that child away for you. And because the way the court system works is like, yo, if you're in a relationship long enough with a woman who has a child and that child could look at you as a father figure, because you've been there long enough and you break up, she potentially could take you to court and take you for child support on a child that's not yours. So I think the reason why so many men avoid that is because they don't want to basically deal with that headache. But honestly, you have to be open-minded to everything. You just can't be shut out, because the way I look at it, you shot out your own blessings, right? Look at some of the greatest individuals that basically walked the earth. Shaquille O'Neal, right? Great dominant player. But his biological father wasn't there. It took another man who's not his biological father to raise him and to help him reach those pinnacles in his life and to accomplish those goals. A lot of individuals are like that. And I think we have to remember that and honestly step away from the taboo on that. Now, to go back into the whole thing about being a red flag, I actually went on my social media and asked this question because it's like, you know, a lot of times us men operate on a whole different scale versus women. And when you get to somebody which is in my age group, the seriousness is there more. I speak for a lot of men when I say ideally, there's a lot of men out here who want to be wifed up, who want to have a family, who just want to come home to one person. But it's a gamble because realistically, it's like my back is against the wall, because if I engage, whether it's a young woman or an older woman, where's the benefits that come in to basically dating in the modern world now? Because it's like, yo, I'm the one who has to sacrifice more than anything. Just in the sense, like, say I'm dating, I get you pregnant. You literally get paid to opt out. You get what I'm saying? If I can't afford to take care of a child, I go to jail. You can't afford to take care of a child, you get government assistance. Or if you figure out that you don't even want a child, you could literally, you know, put your kid up for adoption and no one bats an eye. As a man, I don't have those same options. So what I feel is happening, a lot of men in my age are just saying, you know what? I'd rather fall back and just take it easy, because it seems like you're going into a fight handicap realistically. And I think that's what's happening. I don't think that we're red flags. I just know there's a lot of men within my age group and higher who are just tired. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why most men in my age will usually go for a woman who's younger is because as women are older, there's also more trauma to deal with. And it's harder to deal with that individual than someone who's younger. Not in every case.
Watch how you say younger.
Younger.
You ain't R. Kelly and nobody.
Nah, no R. Kelly, but allow me to explain. Like, yo, if I basically get to a point where I'm dealing with a woman who's younger, I feel like it's easier to manage that. They're more submissive. They're more willing to learn. And because the older chick is older, she's already gone through so much. Her mind is made
these
up.
Young girls is Krishan Rocks.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
So come on. I don't know. Are you willing?
So what I would say to bring it back to what Jay was saying about getting with women who have kids, I think that while it is an altruistic thing to, if a woman has a child already and you get into a relationship with her and you decide you want to take in that child as your own, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. And again, it's a good thing to do because everyone needs guidance, especially like male guidance if you don't have that in your life. I also don't think that it's a bad thing that if you don't want to deal with a woman that already has a kid.
Yeah, it's preference.
Yeah, because to some men, seeing a woman with a kid, or at least what that would tell me, a woman already has a child, is that tells me that if she already has a child, I want to know what the relationship with the baby father was like, you know, because then that would then tell me what I can expect, you know, like moving forward, like with this person, right? So it and sometimes like fellas just want to like avoid that, right? I think Jay said once, like you get with a woman that already has a child, and the baby daddy's still in their life, and then it becomes like you're butting heads with him because like you're trying to do what you can for this kid. But then he's coming in like, oh, yo, why are you trying to like, right? Why are you trying to muscle in on my kid or whatever? And like, you know, it's just to avoid
it's conflict.
to avoid like certain conflicts, you know, and
you don't want to. And I think I could piggyback on this. It's like, okay, imagine, right? You're stuck with that individual. Like a lot of times, and me personally, I'm gonna look at were you at least married? You know what I'm saying? Because the way I look at it, the greatest gift you can give a man is a child.
Yeah, so, most men want to raise their own kid.
Yeah, like you ever heard that saying where it's like, oh, what's it like dating a chick with a child? It's like buying a video game.
And someone's already played it.
Somebody's already played it.
Not every man think like y'all, because that's why so many fatherless kids out here.
No, I'm not speaking. No, you're absolutely
y'all are like the 3%. If y'all want to be there and y'all want to raise y'all kids, that's what real men do.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's a lot of them out here who come from fatherless homes, and I ain't making that excuse, but they don't know how to raise anything because they didn't raise themselves like that.
No, yeah,
like they didn't have no one poured into them. They didn't see their dad fight to stay in a relationship with their mom and build a stable, you know, loving home for them to witness and see. So they don't know how to do that. Yeah. So when they have it, and then they get with a woman who's trying to tell them or just making them feel like, I ain't gonna say making them feel less than, but sometimes men do feel like that, because I feel like because y'all are men and y'all have like this certain level of respect, like can't nobody talk to me a certain way because I'm a man.
Yeah, because respect is our love language.
Right. That's y'all's love language, right? So if a woman is telling you like, hey, you know, women don't always have the best delivery, right? And we definitely don't always have the best delivery when it comes to a man, especially if we didn't have a father figure in our life to show us how to talk to a man and be like, hey, you can't talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like as a woman, like be a little bit more humble, present your delivery a little bit better so that I could, you know, relate to it. So because they didn't have that, so I think it's a lot of broken homes because they get in relationships. You have a baby with this girl, and then, you know, things might get a little tough or a little hard. And instead of her kind of like uplifting you and being like, you know, it's tough, it's hard, we just had a baby, whatever, she coming down on you. So the first thing when she coming down on you as a man, men don't usually take rejection and things like that well. So the first thing some men do is be like, man, forget this, forget her and that baby, man. I can go out here and do my own thing, you know? And then that's, it's a broken mentality to have. But I feel like it sometimes it's like a two-way street.
Well, another thing, talking to other men, one of the biggest fears is getting with a woman who has a child is them not being a priority. Because the way I look at it, and I may be wrong saying this, if you put your kids first, you're a bad girlfriend. If you put your man first, you're a bad mother. Mom. You know what I'm saying? It's like your back's against the wall. But we as adults have to break that taboo. And again, I say it to my viewers. You don't know till you're in it. You get what I'm saying? I know plenty men who are in relationships now with kids who are not biologically theirs, and they're better fathers than the biological fathers. It's not for everyone. But what I would tell you is you gotta let go of the world and how they perceive things. Don't listen to the misogynistic men saying, oh, don't do that, it's not worth it. I'm like, that may be not for them. But you got to basically challenge yourself and do what makes you happy.
Yeah, what you're willing to,
you know what I'm
to
saying?
deal with, honestly.
Now, the truth of the matter is, are you going into a handicap match? Yeah, but that's the definition of being a real man. You're there to fix things. You're there to make something work. So if you're willing to take on that task, more power to you. I'm not here to clown any man who takes that responsibility, because it takes a real man to do that.
And it also takes a real woman to allow you and let you do that, because a lot of times that men don't step up and be good stepfathers is because, almost like what Ben said, I ain't gonna say even if the father is not there, like the mom still be like, that ain't your, like, you ain't his daddy, don't talk to him like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I've been there helping you raise this little boy or little girl. So I've been buying clothes, I've been putting food on y'all's table, I've been paying lights.
Like,
right.
what's my role then?
So women have to allow
the stepfather to be a good
Which
dad.
is honestly really
if you
annoying.
see potential in them, let him be that dad. Let him be that father figure if that's what it is. If you know and you see that. Because if not, you just pushing away a good thing sometimes. And that's what happened. And then good men get burnt out and then they come around and they don't want to do it into the next person who might really accept it and be like, hey, I need your help with my son. My son out of hand.
Yeah.
Like if you can give him some words of advice and him, kudos. I'm glad. I'm happy. But then, you know, because of something he went through in a previous relationship where it was a lady telling him, don't talk to my son like that. Don't do him like that. You can't punish him.
Because honestly, it's so annoying because like, let's just put the camera away from the couples and onto the kids. Imagine how it feels like to the kids. Like let's say a little kid, a new stepdaddy in their life, and then that stepdaddy has a child with your mom. So now you have a half sibling, and now you have a parent treating your half sibling a little bit better than you are, and then you are raised with this whole idea of like, oh yeah, they're my father, they're my mother, whatever. But then when shit hits the fan, and that step parent is basically throwing that child that's not theirs under the bus, and that is the shittiest feeling in the world.
No,
and it's like
happen.
if you're gonna get in a relationship with someone who already has kids and you have more kids with them,
you better be prepared to treat that kid like your own.
Every kid like it is your kid. Because for the kids, there's a lot of trauma.
I do want to say this, like with my boy, right? Yeah. He got in a relationship with a shorty who had a kid, and he ended up having a kid with him. And I ain't gonna front, he was treating the stepson like a dick. And I was like, let me tell you something, Doug. If you don't love that child, you better pray to God what you do to that child doesn't reflect on your son, because the lack of love that you give that boy is the same lack of love he's going to give to your firstborn. You got to be responsible about that. And a lot of times what I need women to understand too, who are in those positions, as I've been in those type of relationships, you honestly got to play your cards right. Yeah. Because it's never really the child that's the problem. It's the parent. And that's why it's important to see the relationship that you have with the baby father. Like a lot of times I hear all the time, oh, my baby daddy ain't shit. Hell, he's a bastard, da, 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 da. And it's like, okay, but he was good enough to have a child with. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk ill about that man, realistically, you're talking ill about your child in the same sense because he's half of that person.
And on top of that,
as
like,
men, it scares us when you talk about a man like that.
That would, you know, if I'm in the instance where like they're depends. Yeah, if they're trash talking their baby daddy, or if they have a bad relationship with the baby daddy or whatever, that kind of like
some baby daddies deserve that.
No, yeah, but then again,
like if I've tried to make you be there, I've been like constantly on you to be in your child's life. I haven't said nothing bad. I'm trying to give y'all a bond, and you don't be there.
Right?
Then eventually,
in instances like that,
I feel like I'm obligated to say, you a piece of shit.
Like if you did what you could until you couldn't do no more, then you have all the power to do that, right? But but then it comes down to like this person that you chose, and unfortunately that just means like if you're having a kid with someone that couldn't step to the plate, it comes down to accountability, right? It's like it comes down to the selection process, and yes, people can lie, right? People can fake, and they can like get you into an idea or a mentality that like this shit's gonna work out or whatever. But you know, it's just like that.
I don't know, because listen, like this is my thing, and I don't know, y'all probably gonna say I'm the conspiracy theorist on this, but when I hear people say choose who you have a baby with, right? I always be like, that is such BS, because you cannot choose who you have a baby with. I'm just being honest.
Hold on. I got it. We're gonna debate that.
Yeah, we are gonna debate that.
So what do you mean?
To me, you can't choose here. Like, okay, for example, I'm just gonna use me for myself, right?
Okay.
All right. I was in a relationship with someone, right? And that's who I really would have wanted to have my child with. We were trying. Never happened, right? The moment that I did fuck up, the person ended up having to get shipped off, deported, whatever, right? And I ended up during that process talking to someone else. Mind you, we did use protection, but I ended up getting pregnant. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Can
I never had. And then you got to look at other people, like people who have babies from rape and stuff. They didn't choose that.
No, but what I'm saying,
you get what I'm saying?
But I actually know someone who actually went through something similar like that. Like they were actively trying to have kids with someone that were married to, but because they couldn't have kids, they ended up getting divorced.
I only have this one thing to say.
That's what I'm saying. So people try for so long.
What you're describing, though, you know, in regards to like rape or like when the condom breaks.
Break. What about people who can't? They be trying, they just can't.
So that is a minority versus the majority of when people want to have children and they actively go out and they have sex with someone, right? And so on top of the because the exception doesn't make the rule, right? And the rule is when you want to go have a kid, right? You go to a person and you have the sex and have that kid.
If that's how you look at it, but I debate
and so like
that.
and there are other instances where like you weren't planning on having a kid with someone, right? But when you have sex, you are full aware of what could happen as a result of having sex.
I mean,
that's where the accountability lacks, and no disrespect.
But before you go out, what would the loophole be?
I mean, in this case, so what T was saying, like the minority, like maybe loophole isn't the right word.
Yeah, but the minority, it's the exception. But that's not the rule.
There's a lot of exceptions, so that's what I'm saying. You can't be like, oh, choose who you have a baby with.
Because you can choose, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go 100% of the time.
But I disagree.
It's not always going to 100% be your choice, but more often than not, you make the decision. Right. More often than not, you make the decision to lay with this person. Right. So that means you are fully aware of what
could happen. And that's where the lack of accountability is, because even though you're using protection, like I tell my boys all the time, it doesn't matter you use protection or not, watch who you fuck with, bro. And that's where I don't show leniency, because at the same time, if I'm laying down with a chick, whether I'm using a rubber or not, if I'm using rubber and say the rubber breaks, I still chose to deal with that individual. And this is why we have to be more responsible as adults.
So one night stands, all that.
That's on you, because at the same time, the reason I say it's on you, you chose to live that lifestyle. And that's the hard reality to accept, because if I'm choosing to have one night stands, I know there's a possibility of that rubber breaking. I know even though I'm using protection, there's a possibility of getting that girl pregnant. I can't deny that. I have to accept that as an adult, that, I put myself in this situation. There's
I
no
hear you.
escape.
I just say I don't think you could choose who you have a baby with.
But if I may, when you say you can't choose, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, I feel like that gets thrown out the window, because as women, you guys are the gatekeepers to sex. You guys decide to open your legs when you want to and when you don't. So when you say you don't choose, I'm like, oh, okay. Like when women say, oh, he ain't shit, he's a bastard. Y'all knew that. Most cases, not in all, most cases they knew that man was like that before they had sex with him. But because they were so attracted to whatever animosity or high scale shit was going on, they took it upon themselves to take that risk. But because you took that risk, you have to be real enough to say, you know what? I put myself there. I made my bed. I got to lay in it. Because when you say, oh, I don't control who I can't control that, that's bullshit, because you had a choice to sleep with that person or not. That choice was yours. You
so y'all feel like it's just females? We just choosing?
No, I'm not saying it's just females, because it works both ways.
Because it works both ways. No, you are the gatekeepers to sex, but
guess what? That's what
the fellas, they go to the females as well. You know, I don't like saying females, but the fellas, they go to women as well to have sex, right?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Even when you're having sex with someone, right?
Yeah.
Like consent, like that's what I'm saying.
But, so let me ask you this.
We wanted to have a baby together.
No, but let me ask you this. So
we was trying. I know other couples that I'm telling you guys, this is the thing. Like they are in a relationship. They are fucking every day trying to have babies. They're doing the ovulation test.
What you're describing,
they're not getting pregnant.
But what you're describing is,
I think it's just like whatever. God, I trust God. I believe in God. So I believe, when God says that person is supposed to be here, this is who this person's parents is. That's just what it is. It's his choice. It's not ours.
So what you're describing
that's just how I feel about it. That's all I'm saying.
What you're describing is actually having the baby. What we're describing is choosing to have a baby with someone versus actually having the baby.
Words. Right. That's what I'm saying.
But what you're describing is
that's what I'm saying. I was choosing.
But what you're describing is
choosing to have a baby. We were trying for 3 years. years,
you're
never had
describing,
it. But literally, as soon as I cheated,
no, but what you're
the
describing,
condom pops and I'm pregnant.
No, but what you're describing,
but
you know what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying, but that was your choice to go and have fornication with that person.
So
but I did not choose to make a baby.
No,
Y'all are saying be careful who you choose to have a baby with. I didn't choose the one that I cheated with. I wanted the baby from the guy.
I get what you're saying. I'm not denying that, but as a man, what we're saying to you is, okay, you had this individual, you kept trying, it did not happen.
Right,
and
so
that
we can't
one time,
choose who we have a baby with, because if so, we would have had a baby because we chose
but
to
you're
get
talking,
the action
but you're
to have
you're
the
talking
baby.
about
who gets pregnant.
But you're talking, exactly, you get pregnant, right? Okay, now, unfortunately, with that individual that you tried with, it wasn't happening. And that one time you stepped out and just slept with the other guy, you ended up getting knocked up. What we're saying is, when you say you don't get that choice, the truth of the matter is you do, because you chose to lay with somebody else who got you knocked up.
Okay.
And you got to take responsibility.
Compromise, but I don't agree.
No, but again,
you have to,
no, because what you're describing, let me just get this up. Please, what you're describing, what we're saying is you choose who you want to have a child with. What I mean when I say that
who
is
you would like to have a child with.
Who you would like to have a child with.
This is a play on words.
What you're describing is what you're saying is I didn't choose to get pregnant from this person. But what we're describing is you made the conscious decision to sleep with someone, or the conscious decision
so everybody that my point to you is everybody you sleep with, you're not choosing to have a baby with.
So
I get that, but you understand the risk.
The person that you said that you were trying for 3 years with, can you not say that you chose?
I was choosing him.
You chose that you wanted to have a baby.
We
with
was
this
choosing
person.
Yes, we was choosing and we could not make it.
That's what I'm saying. You choose who you want to have a baby with. Who you end up getting pregnant with, that's what you're describing.
Yeah.
Who you decide to get, who you get pregnant by.
No, y'all just trying to play the words around. But
the thing is that when you say like the sentence, you choose who you want to have a baby with. Like reading it, like let's say we write this down and we italicize wants. You choose who you want to have a baby with. Yeah. Okay, that kind of changes the narrative. I would want to have a baby with so and so and fulanito, but like you said, you can't choose who you have a baby with because sometimes accidents happen. Yeah. Like you can protect yourself so much as you want to, but consequences happen. Sometimes you have to live with those consequences.
Own those consequences.
So I think it's just a miscommunication. Like we're both kind of right in the sense. It's just how we're perceiving what you're saying.
I mean, I also get what you're saying, but we're all adults, and
how we view it as men is going to be different from how you guys view it as women.
I mean, the main thing for sex. Let's just be real. The main thing for sex is procreation. As humans, we turn it into for fun, right? And because we wanted to keep it for fun without the responsibility of like having kids, we invented contraceptives, but the main thing for sex is to make babies. Yeah. You know that when you have sex, there's a possibility that a baby will be made.
Yes.
Therefore, when you choose to have sex with this person, you are essentially choosing to have a baby with this person, right? I'm not saying you're outright saying I want to have a baby with this person,
but in
technicalities, when you have sex leads to babies. So if you have sex with someone, that means you wouldn't mind having a baby with this person. Therefore, you chose to have a baby with this person. If you get pregnant from this person,
just get my rocks off. That's what I'm trying to
tell you.
But the thing is,
again, this is where I tell a lot of my boys, and I said it to him, and you hear me say it to my coworkers. Yo, I don't expect anybody to be like me, right? If I'm with a shorty and she can't give me kids, this is why it's important to understand, okay, that's just what it is. That's why there's adoption. We get a dog. But once you take it upon yourself to sleep with somebody, you know the risk. It may not have been intentional for you to have that child. You wanted to get your rocks off. You wanted to get your pleasure, your nut on. I get that. But when you say, I didn't have a choice, everything in this life comes down to a choice.
We ain't have no choice.
It comes down, but all I'm saying is everything comes down to a choice, love. Everything, whether if you choose, listen, if you choose, it's the truth. It's the truth, because it's like, if I choose not to go to the gym, what happens? I end up losing my physique, right?
Maybe.
But
but what I'm saying is, I
I
have to make the choice upon myself to put myself and put in the work. Just like, there's not an adult walking around who doesn't know what happens when you have sex. That's why they say, be careful who you sleep with. I tell my boys.
Crazy. You want to know why? Because everybody that you stick your inky in can't have a baby in anyway. So again, it's not your choice.
But what
that's
I'm
what I'm trying to tell you. It's really not your choice. You could be infertile. I could be infertile.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I think she means like it's not your choice, because when you bring like hate or got into it, accidents happen.
But here's how we think as men. When you're saying it's not your choice, we hear lack of accountability because you still are obligated and you're knowledgeable enough to know that if you sleep with a man, there's a possibility that you can get pregnant. And because you know there's a possibility that you can get pregnant, you have to own what happens with that decision you make.
So I would have to ask you this, right? So you sleep with the guy, right? And you didn't want to have a child with him. And because you didn't want to have a child with him, you wore a condom. Why? Because you know what happens
exactly
when you don't wear a condom.
Yeah, and not just getting pregnant though. Hello.
Yeah, I mean,
other things out there.
Technically, she didn't consciously choose it, but it accidentally happened.
No,
so this is what I say by a play of words.
No, but like even if you don't consciously choose that you want to have a baby with this person, we all know what sex leads to. We all know what sex is for.
Right. You can't own that.
Even though you can say, I didn't know I was going to get...
Sex is for pleasure.
Even though you can say, I didn't know... Even though you can say, I didn't...
good times, Ben. I don't know what you mean.
You can
it
say...
doesn't mean a reprecursor.
So, but if I may be very
straight with you, right? You can't say that you didn't know that you were going to get pregnant, but you cannot say that you didn't know that sex leads to pregnancy. You know, that's what I'm saying. So because you know that, that's why you were the...
Like people who prevent and go and they have Depo and all of that stuff, and they still get pregnant on birth control and all of that.
You're right, but
so I'm still saying y'all saying every
but what do the doctors tell you when you take birth control? That you still could possibly get pregnant. A doctor will not tell you, oh, you're on birth control, you can't get pregnant. They're always going to tell you, yo, there's still a possibility of getting pregnant. And that's why, and I speak for myself on this, I can't speak for the other men who are watching the show. That's why I don't fucking sleep around. Because I know what I'm risking. And because I know what I'm risking, I just can't fuck with anybody. And I know that sounds harsh. And Lord is my witness. My boys are my witness. It's nothing for me to shut down a chick who's interested in sleeping with me. Because if I cannot visually see myself being with you, I won't entertain the fact because I'm not...
So you don't take your Willy Wonka to the chocolate factory?
Hells no, because I'm a grown man. I'm not willing, because I've seen so many individuals like myself who are in my age bracket and young, basically make that mistake, and it is always horrendous. Because the worst thing you can honestly put yourself in a situation is, unfortunately, is having a child with a stranger. You are stuck with that person for life. Not 0 to 18, for life. As long as your child's breathing, as long as you want that child to have, you are stuck dealing with that person. And that's the lack of accountability that us men see so many of these women on social media or in life general say, because it's like, yo, at the end of the day, again, I'm not saying this to be disrespectful. You are the gatekeeper of sex. It may not have been your intentions to have a child, but you flirted with the idea. It's like me getting on a bike. I got a massive injury. I lost my life and came back. But I knew exactly what I was risking the moment I swung my leg over that bike. I knew for a fact that when I start this bike, I am putting my life at risk. Even though I'm not the one who caused my accident, even though I was following the law and I was doing everything in my power to be responsibility, I still got hit. I still got damaged. Even though it was the other person's fault, it falls on my responsibility because I chose to ride that motherfucker. I chose to put myself in that situation. So a part of that problem is on me. And as a man, I have to own
accountability, right?
Exactly. And that's what we're saying to you. It's like,
we wasn't talking about taking accountability. We took accountability that we fucked and we had a child.
Okay, we took that. We were talking about, is it a choice that I choose to choose him?
I have a little side note. While you guys were talking just now, I had to Google this because I want to know if Google has an answer. And let me tell you, Google does not have an answer. I tried typing, can you choose who to have kids with? Can you choose who to procreate with? Can you pick someone to create kids with? I tried typing every single thing. And none of them, the answer was always different. It was like, oh, can minors choose their guardians or procreate, which is another, which is, you know, like a site that you can play with. Oh, how to use procreate. And it was like, I don't know.
The only way you can choose who you have a baby by is when you go to the sperm clinic and you be like, yep, check this box, check that box, check this box, that box, that. So, I chose him.
Can I put this out there, though?
I chose him.
Can I put this out there? I'm happy that you said that, right? You go to sperm bank, that's you making the choice, right?
That's the choice.
When it's all said and done, realistically, when I hear that, and I'm not bashing you women, I get it. We think very different on a different scale. You still, if you knew, if you chose, you made that decision.
Yeah, that's right.
You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, again, I hear what you're saying. You chose the fact that you wanted to have kid with this individual. But also, we're human. It's human nature. We seek pleasures in many ways.
Right.
But you have to own it. Because when the average Joe hears...
But that's what we're saying.
Wait. But when the average man hears, I didn't control that.
Thank
you. We're looking at you sideways because it's like, woman, didn't you open your legs to that man? Even though you were,
that's only you looking at. But that's only you looking at it from your side of point of view, right? Because you're like, okay, yeah, but you open your legs, right? Yeah, but just because I open my legs to you don't mean I want to have a baby with you.
I'm not saying
just
that,
wanted to
but
be
nobody.
It just means she wants to have pleasure with you because
that's our chemistry. That's our chemistry. That ain't me trying to build the whole family with you. I might not even want to be in a relationship.
Can you guys not interrupt each other? Thank you so much. Yeah. But yeah, sex is not just about having kids. It's also about feeling pleasure. So if she wants to have sex with you, it could be for many reasons. She wants to have pleasure or she wants to have kids. I will stand by my opinion. It's on wordplay. You know, you can choose to have kids with, and sometimes if you think I don't want to choose to have kids with you, I want to choose to have pleasure with you, and if we have kids, it accidentally happened, and then we will live up to. We will take accountability. There's always like
agreed. That's taking accountability. So again, I can take accountability. I know the steps that we took to get here, so I could take accountability.
Even though I didn't choose you.
Most women go ahead and be like, I'm going to just raise my child and do whatever I got to do and be the awesome mom that they continue to be, because that's taking accountability. Like, damn, I slept with him. I didn't want to have a baby with him, but I got to go ahead and take care of this responsibility.
I didn't choose you, but I will take accountability.
That's accountability. That ain't got nothing to do with me choosing you, right?
But
choosing
it happens.
It's just our chemistry.
Because
and that's the same thing with y'all. Y'all could see a nice young lady that sparks your interest and does everything like that. You might not want to be in a relationship with her. She was just a person to have that fun and that pleasure with. You understand? So if God forbid y'all do end up, and that was who it was chose for you to make this baby with or whatever.
Or if you don't want kids
created at that time, you get what I'm saying?
So
then you're gonna take accountability. So some people might not.
The thing is,
but it ain't like you chose.
So the thing is, again, in regards to sex being for pleasure, that's a modern thing. Again, the original purpose. It is. Yeah. The original purpose for sex is to procreate.
Please tell me when that was. Because even in the Bible, they had plenty of women. It wasn't just for kids.
If I may break down what he's saying,
also said in the Bible to
be fruitful.
To be fruitful. So again,
let me break that down. Right?
Again, but the main thing for sex is to have children, and I get it. Sex is great, and it makes sense for it to be great because it has to be great to incentivize you to continue having kids.
But in the olden times,
give me a second. And so because people didn't want to have to take on the responsibility of making babies, again, that's why contraceptives were created, and again, you cannot deny that we all know what happens when you have sex, what the purpose of sex is for. It's for babies. So I understand that you may, and we said this already, you may not have consciously chosen to have a kid with this person,
but you had control of the situation.
But because you decided
Men
to
have control of the situation too. You don't have to stick your
but
penis
because
in a
you
female.
had
I agree with you 100%.
So we're not the only gatekeepers, because I could come on to you 101%, but that don't mean you got to hunch me back. That don't mean you got to give me your penis.
Okay, if I may take this, right?
Go ahead.
I'm happy that you said that. You're 100% right.
That's
just why.
Throw it on us. Like,
No. But when I say you guys are the gatekeepers, when I say you guys are the gatekeepers, I'm not saying that's all on you. I say you the gatekeepers because if you're not willing to have sex, then it's rape. If I do that, let's be real.
It's rape if we do it to you too, but y'all men just don't want to go and say it because y'all don't want to break y'all's pride and look like little bees.
That don't qualify for me. That's the only reason why men don't go and say, "Hey, she touched me. Hey, I got touched." No, that's why they don't. Yeah, because y'all get touched a lot too. Sorry, go ahead. If I may, right? What I'm trying to basically point out to you, and I tell my brothers this all the time, you stick your dick in crazy, better be willing to deal with it. There ain't no mercy for you. Just like I'll tell you, if a dude knew that girl was crazy, you knew she was risk, you put yourself in that situation. The choice goes on both sides. However, you're a woman, I'm a man. At the end of the day, we know one thing for fact. The moment you open up your legs, you're open to possibly having a child, even though you may not want a child, but because the risk is there, you gotta own that risk.
Yeah, that's why. Too. It's
no, I'm not saying that we're not, but literally,
I'm not saying
literally
that at
because when you have sex, you make babies through sex. If two consenting adults decide to have sex, and they decide to use protection, it's literally what that means is, hey, there's a chance that I could get you pregnant. We are willing to take those risks. Facts. So when you choose to have sex and get pregnant, that means you chose to have that child because you chose to take on the risk of having the child.
We're just going to agree to disagree, and we're just going to agree on accountability because y'all are pointing out accountability. That's what y'all are pointing out, not choice.
This is one thing I want to say, and he's witness to this, right? One thing I do with my boys, and I feel like it's on me to do that, is anytime my boys say a chick they're messing with, the type of person I am, I'm critical, I'm logical. I take a picture of that woman and I show it to my boys. I'm like, yo, if you were to get her pregnant, would you be okay with that? For all my boys that say no, then why are you fucking her? Oh, but I'm using mind you, I don't want you to think I only come at women this way. I come at men even harder because they know what's up. You get what I'm saying? There ain't no kids here. So of course I'm going to be like, yo, my homie, and you could testify to that. I'm like, yo, you see her? Can you see her as a mother of your children? Can you see yourself dealing with her for the rest of your life? No? Then stop fucking with her. Put in the work. Get to know the chick that you're interested in. Because what ends up happening is you end up having these kids out of wedlock. You have no connection with that individual. And guess what? Not only do you suffer, the child suffers as well. And this is why I'm so critical about it. I'm not trying to be critical on you. I'm more critical on the men. Because guess what? As the men, we have the option to say no too. But because dudes are so horny and they don't know how to basically check themselves, they put themselves in a situation. That's why they don't get no mercy from me. Oh, my baby mama crazy. No, nigga, you chose to deal with that. You made your bed, lay in it. It works both sides across. It's not just women. I just want to put that out there.
So sometimes they don't start off crazy, though. That's men and women. So sometimes you meet someone and they are like this facade of this person. And then once time kind of like transpires, you notice, like, I don't think people usually start out saying like, oh, my baby daddy, my baby mama is crazy, da, da, da. I can't stand it, this, and that. I think after time, that happens over whatever experiences they go through.
Oh, okay. No more. Let's move on to the next thing. All right.
But out there, I got to give you Pound. Thank you for opening up. Hey, man.
Staying strong.
This is it.
Fucks with it.
Yo, because it's a mixture. And not just one side, bro.
On to the next thing. And so,
this is going to be juicy.
Yeah, recently premiered on HBO Max. I believe it was January 12th. January 12th was the new show by Mindy Kaling, Velma. Written, produced, and starring Mindy Kaling. Sam Richardson as Norville. What's that lady's name? The Asian lady as Daphne. I forgot her name. Something Constance.
Either way.
And Glenn Howerton as Fred, and there is no Scooby, but they do have Frank Welker, who was the original voice for Scooby and Fred in the older cartoons as Fred's father.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I didn't look at like the credits either. I just recognize voice. I love voice actors. Anyways, so has anyone? We've all watched the show. Have you seen it, Nat? All right, so fuck you. All right. So the only people who have watched there are T, Logic, and I. And
you watched it, Logic?
He did.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I
can I know you have the most to say about it. So can I?
Before you do, because I'm gonna let you go off because I feel like everyone's gonna have an idea of what I think about it. But I'm not gonna go too into what I have to say about it because I already created a video about it on my channel. You can find it, Sir Daniel Benjamin the Slobberly. That's my YouTube channel. You can check it out if you want to. Yeah. It's like a 15-minute video, just me talking my shit about it, as well as the things I do think are good about the show as well. I don't have only shit to talk about it because that's not how I roll. I got to go on both sides of the aisle. Exactly. So I will say what I have to say when I do have my turn, but I'm gonna give it to everybody else.
Okay. So you know me, I try to be unbiased. I said, let me watch this show before I speak on it. Let me see what it's about. I can honestly say I was not happy with it. And the reason I was not happy on it is because the first thing that comes, who's this show for? What they did is, as a grown man now, I grew up on Scooby-Doo. I grew up on it. I seen so many remixes to it. I seen so many different conversions to it. My issue is it's like they put it as a cesspool. Number one, you're dealing with real murders in a comic-y way, which the Mystery Machine and the Mystery Gang, they've always been on a serious note, the professionals, even though they were adolescents, right? You took that and you dissected it and you put so much BS in there. And Velma's character, who's supposed to be smart, who's supposed to be the one who thinks outside the box, ends up being the stereotypical chick you try to avoid because she is a cesspool of negativity who disrespects everyone in that show on a level where it's like, yo, this is not what I remember. Okay, we could wave off from that. Then you talk about Fred. It's like, yo, they demasculated that man so bad that they made him seem like a fragile little boy. And it goes against his whole character of how it was in the series.
That's literally how they play his character up. He's a fragile little boy.
They make Shaggy anti-drug. We all were kids, but we knew what was up with him. And then Daphne, basically, it's like, yo, again, I have no problem with the gay community. Y'all know I don't. But it's like, this is another example how they cram it down your throat. It's like, okay, Velma's adopted all this. Not Velma, Daphne's adopted. Both her parents are lesbian police officers. Right. Okay, cool. She's a drug dealer. It's like, yo, you want all over the place with this. And the show, honestly, in my opinion, has no structure.
I have a question.
It has no proper setting. So who's this for? Who did you make this show for? What crowd are you targeting?
I have a question. Do you agree or disagree if this may be like some sort of parody?
It's not a parody.
No.
It's not.
Okay.
It's literally.
Okay.
I thought at first, but
literally,
as you get deeper into the show, it's not a parody.
It's again because like they described it literally as the origin story to the Mystery Gang.
No way, really?
Yeah, it is the Mystery Gang's origin story.
Wow. And then you take Shaggy, whose name is now Norville.
That's
his legal name. That's his legal name.
That threw me because I promise you, if you didn't say it, I still wouldn't have put two and two.
Norville Rogers. Yeah, but that's his real name.
And then it's not the fact that he's black. It's the fact that you took away his character and you made him in a complete pathetic simp.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what is going on? You even now
Shaggy wasn't even worried about love in the original.
No, you're right.
He wasn't, bro. He was worried about dog food.
But
dog food, bro.
In the different versions of it, there's actually a segment of Scooby-Doo where him and Velma had a history.
Yeah.
And they were together. So what you did was you made Velma and Daphne gay. You took the one.
Velma's gay too.
Yeah,
I think I missed it. I watched the 2 episodes. I mean, it's only 2 episodes.
There's 4 episodes now. So here's the thing.
They dropped some last night or something?
Yeah. So
last night?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Today. So like.
Oh, see, I didn't watch the 2 episodes.
In the last Scooby-Doo movie, actually, they alluded to Velma being gay, right?
I love the movie, the live action movie. Not gonna lie.
Not the live action. Not the live action. It's
like
the latest animated movie. They alluded to her being gay, right? So that was the thing. So like in my mind, I don't necessarily care that they made Velma gay because like in actuality, like okay, so here's the thing. In actuality, Velma. It never confirmed what her sexuality was, right? So I was more open. Yeah, exactly. I was more open to her being pan. So the fact that she's gay or whatever, it doesn't bother me because she always seemed like the type that was more attracted to intelligence rather than anything else, right?
Yeah.
But she did have her moments though in older iterations of where she was attracted to hunky guys, like what they had a crossover with Johnny Bravo. She was into Johnny Bravo. She even dated Johnny Bravo for a bit. Canonically, she dated Johnny Bravo for a bit. As well as when they
met with Jabberjaw, which if you're young enough, you remember that. You remember that.
And they also met with the the Supernatural crew, the Winchester brothers, and she fell in love with Sam and Dean. They had a crossover with those guys, and so. Those were the instances where she was, just like
unlocking these core memories in my brain.
That was the instances where she was portrayed as straight. In the most recent one, she was into a chick, right? But this chick was a genius, so it was more so like
the intelligence,
to the intelligence, right?
So she's a sapiosexual.
She's a sapiosexual, right? I can take that, right? I can take her into boys or girls, do not care, right? But my thing is, right?
They force it in the show.
They force it because in the show, Velma and Daphne fucking hate each other. In the first episode and halfway through the second episode, they hate each other.
Went sour.
Right? It went sour. So then by the end of the episode, they're fucking making out. Like, what sense does that make?
That's not what bothers me either. It's like, the one masculine dude, part of that group, they demasculate him and make him look like some childish boy.
Like, literally, the whole thing with Fred is that his parents pampered him so much that he is a late bloomer. He hasn't gone through puberty. He literally has a baby dick, and they play it for a joke in the show.
He's a Jake Paul.
He's a Jake Paul.
He's a Jake Paul in the show.
A sheltered little man child.
Who's into now trying to put on the front, and it's like, bro.
Because
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
It's like in the show, there's parts where he's been told that he's chill with Daphne, and he's like, oh yeah, he always pushes me away. I'm like, dude, why are they doing that? Okay, I understand changing tradition.
When she was,
I'm all for
in
that.
In the bathroom, we didn't make out.
And it's like,
because my thing is like, I wouldn't have mind the more adult themes, but it's just that these characters only share appearance and name with their legacy characters only.
That's it.
They literally, I don't care that they made Velma Indian. I don't care that they made Norville black. I don't care that they fucking made Daphne an Asian with like red hair. If they just stayed,
and she's adopted.
Black.
No, Shaggy was never. Shaggy was
he was
black.
Always a hippie.
No, he was a hippie.
A weed hippie.
So and they made him anti-hippie.
Like literally, and like they.
That's why I did not know that Norville. You still blowing my mind. You see, I was on that night on the call. I'm like, what?
Norville Shaggy.
Norville Shaggy. What?
And the thing, and they try to play the joke that like Shaggy makes his content and the only people that watch his content are stoners. Yeah. And so like when he finds that out, he's like, oh man, that sucks. Why the only stoners like my fucking shit? Like
really, dog?
You know really? What? If anybody would have been deconstructed, I would have way preferred if they did Shaggy.
None of the Munchie runs.
Literally,
I love the Munchie runs.
They fucking,
Scooby-Doo. You could always find Scooby and Shaggy in the kitchen somewhere messing something up.
Literally, it was horrible. If they turned Shaggy into a stereotypical stoner, always trying to get high and eat food, that would have been hilarious, bro. That would have been perfect. Literally, perfect. They're in high school.
They could have had a nice, cute little dog. For Scooby.
And like the thing is,
Norville.
I think
Norville could have had a Frenchie.
Yeah, a Frenchie, a Cocker Spaniel, something.
I'll even take it to a further degree. As I'm watching the show, I'm like, okay, let me not be too biased. Let me see where this goes and how deep it goes.
No, it's for adults. It's TVMA.
Yeah, and then it's like Velma has all this trauma, and it's like
who doesn't?
No, but it's exaggerated
the way that
to
they
a degree.
deal with the trauma.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Like
wow. I'm gonna take all of this constructive criticism, guys. I'm gonna watch it.
No, but exactly. Watch it and make your own thing. So
it got the worst reviews, by the way. It is getting slammed all over, and it's because they're upset.
Yeah, and it's not because it's woke. I'll tell you right now, it's not because it's woke.
Nothing to do with woke.
Even the YouTubers who you would consider liberal or progressive or on the left, even they're fucking slamming this show, dude.
Because it's like, who did you make it for?
Like literally, and bro, like they had this one joke that everyone always says. It's like, oh, and when Shaggy was going like, oh, if I ever get into 420 culture, 420 humor, fucking kill me. And he goes to Velma, do you know what 420 means? She's like, oh yeah, it means adults that still watch cartoons. Like, you mean the people fucking watching the cartoon? Like, bro, it's like,
are you serious?
Who is this for? Who is this for? And it's like,
what direction are you really trying to go?
And so they dropped 2 more episodes. So honestly,
I gotta go home and watch it.
No, I'm gonna watch it.
I didn't watch the new 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
It's not.
No, but here's the thing: there's news that it's already got a season 2.
How?
I don't know, dude.
Way. You know, I think
rumors.
it's because everybody's watching it, even though they hate it. They're still watching it.
It's one of those,
right? Right. And so like,
bad publicity is good publicity.
And so And so like the trauma that they had dealt badly with Velma. So apparently so her mother disappeared, and Velma believes that her mother disappeared because of her wanting to solve mysteries.
No, she believes she was kidnapped.
Yeah, she believes she was go.
Question really quick. So I know they don't know, but on our phone call when we did our little brainstorm meeting, so do y'all really feel like now that you've watched it, the first 4 episodes, whatever, do you think what I said on the call was true, that they're starting it in the middle and we're like going back?
No, but
like
that's
episode, like putting it like a puzzle.
I get what you're saying.
The reason why I say yes, because if you follow the series, there was a pup named Scooby-Doo, and in the series, it shows that she had a relationship with Velma, and Daphne had friendship as a kid. But what about Fred? What about Shaggy? They weren't included.
So that's why I'm like, I think they're starting somewhere like maybe 30 episodes in, let's say, right? And they're trying to bring us back.
I would say that. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So right now we're looking crazy, like we're locked. Put it in the bag.
Put the
money in the bag.
What? This way?
Put it in. Bag. Sorry, you're facing the wrong way.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just want to put a PSA out there. Say no to drugs, yo.
But I get what you're saying.
Don't do school.
They're starting the story in the middle to then show us the origin.
Yes.
And that's
what I think. That's what I've been thinking, because when it started off, like the first 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, but how do we get here?
But also take note.
Seems like a middle.
Yeah. But also take note,
beginning.
In the beginning of the first episode, she was talking about origin stories. And she said, this origin story starts with a murder. She's like, this origin story starts with a murder, bitch.
Right. Yeah.
So
but then the people who got murdered, we didn't know. That's what made me feel like we were in the middle of an episode, because it was Brenda, it was Kim that got killed. And I'm like, but how did we get to Brenda and Kim? We don't know Brenda and Kim.
I would say that if you want, don't purely go off of what we're saying. If you want to form your own opinion on the show, definitely check it out.
You're definitely gonna laugh.
Yeah, I mean, there are parts that I thought were funny. Laugh. Like there's a scene where like Fred was pretending to be a little kid, and like
they made him Hitler.
When he whipped out, when he jumped in the car, and he was like I thought that was funny. Or the scene when they were trying to get him that was like whatever. The scene when he was trying to cut the steak in the courtroom, and he was like, Mother Cuddies.
Cuddies.
I thought that was funny. It's because I think Glenn Howerton is a fucking genius when it comes to that. And my only thing is, I don't like what they did to the characters because it kind of betrays their legacy. But if it turns into something good, I'll take everything back, right? But
you just have to watch.
Yeah, you just have to watch.
You have to.
I'm still on the fence because I feel like they're starting it in the middle, and
we don't know. That's the thing, because they keep going to prequels in the series too. So again, I don't want to be judgmental on it, but if I may,
the reason. Really quick, and then I'm gonna wrap my part up. But the reason why I feel like that is because I don't know if y'all seen this show on Netflix. It's called Kaleidoscope. If not, go watch it. It is like amazing. It's one of like the best shows right now. I swear to you.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's like the best show. Kaleidoscope. Oh my God. It starts you off in different parts of the
and you have to piece it together.
And you gotta
So is it like
watch the show like out of order.
Don't say anything about Altered Carbon. I didn't finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, so I might have to watch it.
It's really good. It's about like we've discovered immortality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, guys, we think, again, if you haven't seen it, check it out. We want to know your response and what you guys think about it. Again, this is just our opinion. We're still getting into the show. We don't know where it's going, but as of right now, it's topsy-turvy. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure if this is your first time basically checking in, you hit that subscribe button.
Follow,
basically,
subscribe.
You can follow me at 142 Logic 142 on Instagram.
You can find me on Sir Zaniel Ben. Also find me on YouTube, Sir Zaniel Benjamin the Slobberly. Check out my review on Velma if you want to get more in depth with that.
You can follow me on any platform at TEA_OSTOMY. That's Teostomy.
I know I've always said to not follow me, but
what?
Yeah, every time.
Look,
every time I say like, don't follow me.
She about to give out. She about to give out the info. Let them know, girl.
It's a new year. It's a new me.
Follow me.
Oh, we know it's a new you because you know you got.
You can head over to the 1424 podcast Instagram and you'll find her tag in the bio. So
with the nail emoji.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your homework.
And yeah, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell icon for the notifications. Find us on Instagram and TikTok under 1424 podcast.
And on this note, yo, it's your gearhead, Mr. Logic himself.
It's your boy Sir Zaniel.
It's your girl Teostomy.
It's your girl Nate.
And this is one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Thank you guys for tuning in, baby.
Gosh darn, I fucking disliked Velma.